1, 2, 3. Yo.
Welcome to the Black Wealth Matters podcast, hosted by
your boy Bang.
I'm PJ.
And I'm Dee.
Yeah, so I know y'all remember us from before COVID hit and we all had to separate and all those things happened, but we decided to bring this value forward to you because we feel like it's important in this time. Yeah. So if y'all wondering, we got some new traptions that came to us courtesy of the COVID break. Before you remember, we didn't have the laptop. We got laptop, tablets, phones, and everything going on right now. We were kind of just going to jump into really the discussion for today. And the discussion for today, we don't really have a particular topic, but the topic is financial literacy because we're talking about, as we said, Black Wealth Matters. And how do you build wealth? Well, first you have to have a foundation, and I think the foundation is financial literacy. So I think we can kind of start there. Do y'all agree or disagree with kind of what I said in terms of that being the foundation?
Definitely
I agree. And I think it's awesome that we're kicking it off in this month that they gave us.
Yeah, man.
It is Black History Month.
Right.
I'll take it though. I better have some than none.
I mean, I'm black every day though.
Yeah, I'll take it though.
Because I have been seeing a lot of they just give it, but I mean, at least it's some type of acknowledgement.
Yeah,
and at least for our people, it's a time where we at least are thinking about our history,
and each other.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
those
being proud.
Yes.
I got my once a year customers calling me for Black History Month t-shirts.
Yeah, I'm making Black History buttons.
Yeah, I only hear from during Black History Month, but I'm not complaining.
I got buttons. I got Dr. King buttons and Malcolm X buttons and
had one of those
How to the People
side.
buttons. Yeah. Like I got them all.
Should wore one
right?
on each side.
But getting back to
the foundation
what PJ said with the foundation.
The foundation being financial literacy, the foundation of building wealth, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And
the financial literacy, I believe, is a escalated point from understanding your relationship with money. So understanding your relationship with money, then financial literacy. Because until you understand where you stand, you can't understand where you're going.
Agreed. And the reason I say that is
I'm
because...
too silly. I want to hit him with a knick-knack paddywhack. Get a dog a bone.
She laughing at me. But, it's the truth.
But I agree.
But
I do agree.
The reason I say so is because I hear a lot of people talk about, like, in terms of trying to build wealth, they a lot of times talk about making more money.
Give me some money.
But
right. But
the biggest wealth builder is the income that you already make. That's what I've learned.
Much so.
It's like figuring out how to balance that income so that when you do receive more, you have a structure in place that you're not spending everything, and you know learning how to invest and budget. And
it's not even just that. My personal opinion in this particular area, I was actually speaking with one of my guys about this, and I mean, we can all take it as we may. So this is how I look at it. As African Americans, Black folks, we tend to lean towards what do you call it? Not pacifying, but coping mechanisms to get through life. Our PTSD or issues that we had growing up, or things that didn't quite fold or go the way that we needed it to go. So, for instance, we may smoke marijuana, or we may drink alcohol on a regular basis. We may indulge in other
Gambling.
gambling, other festivities that they call it the poor man's wealth.
Cigarettes.
Yeah, smoking
beer
cigarettes and so forth and so on.
Prostitution.
Strip clubs.
Yeah. So it's a long list of perverted and self-destructive things that we self-medicate with. But I'm not even trying to go there.
I don't know personally. I just heard. That's why I was doing it.
But I was thinking along the aspects of this. So I used to smoke cigarettes.
I did too.
One of the things that stopped me from smoking cigarettes was the fact that cigarettes became $10 plus tax per pack of cigarettes. So $10.
It worked the same way for me. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, $10 plus tax usually equaled out to around about $11 and some odd cents. So I'll say about $11.75 per pack. So then I started adding it up in my head. I said, I smoke a pack a day. So $11.75 times 7 days a week, because I didn't miss a day of smoking, was $82.25 a week. Now, $82.25 a week times 4 is $329 a month. Y'all just let that marinate in your heads for a brief moment.
Car note.
Yeah, somebody's car note, part of somebody's rent. You could rent a room. You could rent a room for $329 a month.
That's 2 days of a vacation.
Man, you hear me? And for 12 months, you basically spending $3,949 a year.
4 stacks and 4 bands.
What I just popped in my head is you spending that money to kill yourself.
Exactly. And that's where I'm going at with it. So something that's not healthy for you, you're actually spending money to harm yourself.
Right.
But then when you want some money to actually invest in something that you want to do,
you don't have that money.
You ain't got it.
Because you're invested in harming yourself. Same thing with gambling. Same thing with excessive drinking. Same thing with all the other vices and things that we listen to our flesh to move on with. But I'm not trying to preach to nobody. I'm just talking about the
how he
numbers.
looked at me when he said gambling, right?
Well, you mentioned gambling before.
What do you do?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
No, man, I'm guilty of it, but what he's saying is 100% on point. If you look at what we spend over the course of each week, because a lot of people, what happens is, if you look at it from a long scale form, you'll say 4,000 at the end of the year, and that kind of make you. But if you start to just look week by week on what you can save and put to the side, you will really look at it different. Because like when you look over a long period of time, you tend not to. It's the same thing as when you swipe your card versus actually going to spend cash. You just look at it differently when it's long form compared to like if you look and say, man, this week I'm broke, but if I would have did this, I could have saved. I could have had 32. Yeah. What did you say? $39.
$3,900.
Well, I just had this though. Okay. So I'm gonna go deep, but not deep, but like deep. Okay. So you got $10 a day. $78, $72, $82 per week. $3,000 per year to kill yourself. Now, if you were to go invest in a property, I'm finna go here, using other people's money, the most that you would probably have to pay out of your own pocket would be somewhere around $2,500 or that same $3,000, right? Right? Mm-hmm. Follow me, right? Because you're using other people's money.
True.
Now, with that $3,000 that you just paid out of your pocket, it can potentially, on the low end, make you $25,000 on the low end.
It's almost 10 times.
Give or take. Now, the only issue that I have with what you're saying is you giving meat in the vegetarian aspect. And what I mean by that is somebody that has money problems and not money problems, we're gonna visit that later. They can't fathom purchasing a property with somebody else's money with $2,500. They can't even fathom how.
And I get it, but I
How,
know it
what,
can be
when.
done. So
You
that's
do.
that's
You-
why it
you
came
know.
to my mind.
You
That's why
know.
it popped in my mind.
But I'm saying you know that it can be done. But let's go with something basic. Let's go with something a little more basic.
Okay. I got another example. Okay. Yes. $300 to $400 a month in cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
$300 to $400 a month in a car note. A car is a liability, right? Unless you make it an asset.
Right.
So then you go and register your car on Turo,
Mm-hmm.
and then you rent that car out,
Okay.
and now that car is now making money for you,
Okay.
Same as an
right?
Airbnb.
Now that's
It's the
more
Airbnb
that's
vibe.
more
Okay.
foreseeable.
Now-
Can you see that?
No.
F you.
Yeah. It's still too big.
It's not
Yes, it is.
It's not.
You're speaking
a car.
in a business
Everybody
aspect.
like a car.
Everybody does like car, but you're speaking in a business aspect, which causes a person has to have a business mind to
I get it.
conceive.
You're speaking to the employee.
Right. You understand what I'm saying?
That-
So now here, that's what when
But
I
I'm
say.
just talking about having that same money make money for you.
Yeah, but
that's
not-
what I'm
okay,
talking
but
about.
Okay, look, let me just bring up this.
I'm
this-
with you.
Let me just
Deidre,
bring
but
up this statistic
If,
right
if
here.
you're not thinking business,
So,
that just doesn't.
Figure
it doesn't
one
make
says the median wealth by educational obtainment for working households under age 55. All right, they got it separated by white, less than high school, white with a college with at least some college education, black with at least some college education, Latino with at least some college education. Now, let's just play a game. Okay? Here's the game. Now, the average income for a white household with less than high school education
Mm-hmm.
is $18,000.
That's poverty.
It is poverty. But this is someone with less than high school education. So you don't have some college, you didn't graduate high school, you have some high school education.
It's 18K.
18.8.
18.8.
18.8.
So 20,
I mean, you know, you
$20,000.
$200 off of,
So 20,000.
I mean, you averaging too high, but okay.
Round it up.
Okay, 20,000.
That's only 1,200
Okay, now,
away.
what do you believe the average of the African American household with some colleges?
25.
I was gonna say 30.
11,000.
What?
That's
How's it
bull.
less?
Where are those statistics coming
I'm
from?
looking at it right here.
That's
How's
bull.
it less?
Looking at it right
That's
here.
bull.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. The recorded average.
But how's it less though?
Right.
Hmm?
That's
How's
bull.
it less money? How they making less money having?
Where did those numbers come from?
This comes from the internet.
Okay,
This comes
where?
from the
What
internet.
site? Because you can't give numbers like that and not sort your sites
I'm finna tell you.
and your
I'm
site,
finna
your
tell you right
sources,
now. I'm finna tell you right
not
now. Hold on.
not cite your sources, and your sources have to be reputable.
So
That's
so
bull.
reputable sources or not, this is from the 2019 Survey of Consumer Finances. Is that reputable? Okay, I guess from your silence I would say that it is.
I
Guess-
don't even know who they are.
Guess how
about that?
much the average Latino family with some college education makes?
Okay, give it to us.
Okay, you said 11.
20,500. Okay, ready for your wig to be blown back? The average white family with some college education under age 55. 79,600.
That I mean,
Now,
now that does sound
Now,
about accurate.
just shuffling those numbers around, I don't want you to just think about the numbers, but I want you to think about the people and the mindset of the individuals and the amounts and the consistency of money being in these people's hands on a regular basis.
And the habits that they have.
And the habits.
I mean, that's what we just talked
Yes,
about.
sir.
The B's
So
and the
if
guns.
I'm making $11,000 a year and I got a $3,900 a year habit, I'm already losing.
You only just talked about $39.
I'm only talking about $3,900.
Because if they smoking squares, they
Come on.
it's more
so,
to it. You know?
So this is where I say. And this is how I can see if it can be basic. If y'all feel like it's not, let me know. All right. Let's say I decide I want to take care of myself. I want to love myself. And I decide I want to stop smoking cigarettes.
So now you got $379 extra.
$329. Now I have an extra $329 per month. All right? So, going back to what you said, we love cars, right? We love cars. What kind of car do we love?
Luxury black people?
Yeah.
Luxury cars.
What kind of luxury
Foreign.
car?
I gotta get a foreign.
Nah, they like Cadillac.
Cadillac, baby.
With a diamond in the back, a sunroof top.
Okay. So instead of going to purchase a Cadillac, how about I just take that same $329 a month and purchase Cadillac stocks? And purchasing those Cadillac stocks at $329 a month. Because if I save my money in a bank account, they're only going to give me 0.5% interest.
That reminded me of that. They get a penny at the
So
end.
here's the thing. What mindset are we talking to again?
We talking to, and this, okay, so
No,
let
'cause
I knew you was going to go there.
Because
I knew you was going to go
I
there.
was
So,
actually about to agree, though.
so wait, check it out.
I 100%
No,
agree.
listen,
with
listen, check it out. This is what I'm addressing. We are consumers.
Yes.
Let's just face
it. Mm-hmm.
We consumers.
That's why we
So with us being consumers, every company, every business comes up with some type of strategic plan
To target.
the African American community.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they're targeting the African American community, that means what?
I mean, it's going to make some money because we consume.
That's right, because we consume it. So just take the things that you're buying and the things that your family members are buying and purchase parts of those businesses.
Because while you buying it, you're going to be making your money back.
You buy stock.
If you like shoes,
And understand
buy stock in Nike.
those stocks cost pennies on the dollar. A lot of those stocks are pennies on the dollar. You start out.
On average, here, let's just I like to talk numbers sometimes.
I mean, you definitely be better off spending your $329 that way.
So let's say
I know when we were looking to buy our granddaughter a gift, I'm like, why are we going to buy her Roblox money when we can invest money in Roblox in her name?
With Deetra's question about it, because that game is a slow build game,
and we like immediate gratification.
That's why I was.
But it's the difference between you saying, I'm going to save my money for something, and your money's not gaining anything. You're not gaining any type of dividends. You're not gaining any type of significant interest.
I ain't losing nothing either, bro.
Wait.
I'm just
giving you the
other
side.
You speaking Chinese.
And then at the other part, when you put your money into a bank, your bank takes your money and does what I'm telling you to do with your money.
Yes.
Can I tell you that you speaking Chinese?
I
Especially to the people that it really should apply to.
I understand, but I'm
like if you
talking
talking
Black Wealth Matters.
I'm trying to stimulate thought.
But what I'm saying is,
I'm trying to stimulate.
I started having children when I was 20 years old. I wanted something different for my children. I did what most people do. I invested in Gerber Life Insurance and DeMarjay's name. Hey, because that was what was there. I didn't know any better. Nobody was there to tell me any better. My very first experience with financial freedom was Primerica. And that conversation that I had, 20 years old, sounded like Chinese to me when you speaking about whole life and annuities, when you speaking about dividends, when you're speaking about these numbers and what I can do with this or that. And my baby needs some Pampers.
Yeah. But guess what? This brings me back to one of my most hated prejudice statements. And it goes a little something like this. If you want to hide anything from a black man,
Put it in the book.
put it in the book. So at this point in time, why are we not researching? And if we're not researching,
When you have Google University, at your
oh my
fingertips.
God. Oh my God. YouTube University. And then
But
if-
that wasn't the point.
if you're not
making.
researching, hook up with somebody that researches.
The point that I was making was, for me, it's about the deprogramming to reprogram. And in order for us to do that, we have to present it differently. That was like my point.
Present what differently?
The opportunities that we can show them what they can do with the 329 that we're trying to show them.
Because a
But
lot
if you don't even
of
know if you got the 329, you ain't gonna even think about the
But-
opportunities.
But what we make it, this is for our audience, so we made them aware of how they can save the 329. So now it's like, how do we show them how to? All right, you said stop
This
smoking
to
squares.
show me-
I'm
this to
done
show me
smoking
safe.
squares. I got 329.
now,
Now what you want me
do
to
something
do?
with my 329.
I just said it.
But that's what she was saying. That's just as rocket science as the ideas that she threw out.
Okay. All right, well,
So
here we go.
Trying
Then.
to
Let's,
find
let's
something
break it
that's-
down like this. So let's dip back off into what you're saying. All right, 329. On average,
I don't like when he buck his ass out.
on average, you
It
got
scares me.
329 per month.
It
So
scares me.
329 per month.
I mean, the card, it was because I'm
No, I got something else. I got something else for you.
I want to
Okay,
find one
so
because that's the winner
so
for me.
so here
right
we
now,
are.
The car idea, because that's something that
Responsible
Anybody can do
individuals, or shall I say, a responsible parent.
it. You get a car tax season.
What is the biggest worry for a responsible parent?
Shelter for their child.
Shelter.
Roof
for
over
the
their
clothing,
heads.
providing for
Providing.
it. Just providing for it.
So it's the hierarchy, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Google it.
No, I don't want to.
Google it up. Search it up on
Oh,
Google, like Camille says.
All right, how do I spell that?
Manslow. Manslow. Hierarchy of needs.
There it is. Hierarchy of needs. What did it say?
And then it's just that pyramid. And you start at the bottom, go from the
Okay,
bottom.
we're gonna look at the images for it. Which this pyramid right here or the self? Which one?
So I think it's this one,
So self-actualization,
which is at the top.
self-esteem,
Love,
love,
safety.
and psychological is what it
That's
says.
not the one though. So
I'm lost.
so where I'm going with this is you're saying what is a parent's concerns for their children. It's really the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. It's food, clothes, shelter. Then after you got your basic needs, you can move on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. But the very first thing is food, clothes, and shelter. If you don't have those things, how can you function? How can you think? Like, that's the very first thing. That's what you think about for yourself. So you definitely want it for your child. You can't think past nothing if your kid is hungry, if your kid don't have clothes, if your kid don't have shelter.
Do you think there's anybody home that's smoking cigarettes?
I believe it is. And they not taking care of their personal needs.
Honestly, I think they probably smoke more cigarettes because they stress. Man, let me get that short, bro.
Man.
Honestly,
Come on.
I smoked more cigarettes when I knew I didn't have the money for it.
and really, we just, again,
But
we
I
just
never
talking
got loose squares. Loose squares was beneath me.
cigarettes,
I used to get
herbs,
loose squares.
and
Loose-
something to drink. That's what
loose-
he's just saying.
Loose squares was beneath me. I wasn't going.
So,
I lived on the block where the cigarette man was at, and I
So-
wasn't getting no loose squares.
Me personally, my issue was what would happen to my children if I weren't here.
That's real.
Making sure that they can survive if I was not here. So with that being said,
I'm not making a joke.
I decided to call a couple of my friends and talk about insurance.
Okay. Yeah.
Life insurance.
Life insurance.
Because we all don't know when we're going to go.
We don't.
And then we leave
So-
it on our people.
Let's see. I'm going to go in the middle. We'll start at age 35 to 40. Per month, you can cover your family with $100,000 for guess how much?
Tell us how much, Bob.
$32.75
Survey says.
Per what?
per month.
$32.
per month. So the
So
same,
you could get your
the same thing that it would cost you to smoke cigarettes for a week.
1 week. Yeah.
less than that. Less than
No,
that
it was,
amount.
it was 32.
No, it was
Like
80 something dollars a week.
No, it was $80-something every 2 weeks.
No.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah.
If
you're
it's
right,
$10
you're right,
a
you're right,
day,
you're right,
we
you're
talking
right,
about three.
you're
That's
right.
3 days of
You're right. I
12.
said $11.75
Yeah.
times 7. Yeah, that's $82.25. Oh my God.
3 days of 12.
Oh, that just didn't even sound believable. That's
So
why I
now
wanted
you
to
got an
deny it.
extra $50 a day
To get
even
you
after
some
you-
squares. Cut down. Don't even gotta
So,
quit smoking.
for
Cut down.
$32.75.
Your insurance gonna be higher if you smoke though.
Yeah, it is gonna be high because you got high blood pressure and the whole pinched nerves, all that. But for $32.75, you can cover $100,000 in your family. Now, I believe, and this is just me, I believe that when you access things of this nature, it causes you to think different. So now you say, if I leave here, what direction do I want this money to go and how do I want it to be used? Who do I want to have it? How much do I want them to have? And what do I want them to do before they can get it?
So, right, we want to make sure they're prepared to sustain it.
Exactly. So it allows you to take more of a God approach or a God aspect when you sit back and look at things in a way where things are moving without you or things are moving in a direction that you would like for them to move, and you have say-so over what entities or additives go with those particular moves. I think that's a big thing. We die and have GoFundMes.
That is not insurance, FYI.
No, it's definitely not. But here's the thing.
Ooh.
I like your idea, but again, I'm thinking from the person that I'm stopping and I got my $329 that I'm saving per month, right?
Okay.
How is that making me money now? Because what you was telling me is well, I guess you're making me money by saving me money. I guess I can say that, but I'm thinking I'm with you.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking.
So
for
you
the
saying
person
how do you actually make the money? I'm back to the stocks. So here on average, let's pick a black company. Let's see. What do black people invest a lot of money in? Let's
Hair products and
no. Let's narrow it down to a name.
Esations.
PayPal.
Who?
No, go to Esations.
Esations?
Esations.
I don't think Esations is trading on the stock.
Are they not? That's the Luster family. But I was trying to use them as a black owned
Name
company.
something else.
A black owned
Name
company.
something that's not black owned that black people invest in without even thinking about the fact that it's black owned or not black owned. They just buy it just cause.
Shoes. Jordan.
That's why I said PayPal, because all of us use, almost everybody use it, and it's one of the
Okay,
top.
so y'all want to go with Adidas or Nike?
Nike.
Yeah, Nike.
Nike.
'Cause
Okay. All right. So the average Nike share is $125.73.
Put a pin in it. Less than a pair of Jordans.
Very much so.
Less than a pair of retros. Come on now.
And you're owner of the part owner of the company.
One stock.
Yes, very much so.
So instead of buying your baby the retros, put a few stocks in their name. Like, this is the beginning of generational wealth when they don't even know that the money is accruing for them already.
So you have, on the average, I believe that if you have a stock, you should hold it for 5 years. 5 years is going to give you a substantial return or loss in whatever it is that you're doing.
So as grandparents, right? We're grandparents now, so we can't do it for our kids. And what's making me mad is that in certain nationalities, the parents are already doing it for their kids. But instead of buying the gifts, buying the tangible items that they not gonna have next week, and spending buku bucks on it, you can go and invest in the stocks and the things it is they like. Look up Roblox. Roblox.
1 second, hold on. So,
because every parent buying Robux.
So in March of 2020 was when the pandemic first happened and everything went locked down. The average Nike stock was $89.60. So $89.60 per stock has rose up to, in November of 2021, it went up to $1.51 per stock. So let's just average that out. Let's see. So can I get a calculator, somebody?
Yeah.
89.60.
89.60. Is that 8,960?
What's that? Roblox. Yeah, and it's up. So hold on. 89.60. As a matter of fact, let's go this route.
$89.60?
No, let's go this route because it topped out at $176.35. Minus 89.60.
Okay, that's 86.75.
So you would have almost doubled your money if you bought stock in Nike in March of 2020.
I mean, yeah. I mean, 'cause if you would have jumped in around the time, you would really. It was.
And at $329, let's see that. So 300. So what did we say that was? 39. What a year?
30.
Here we go. 82.
It was 37.
Let's see. Times 4. 329 times 12. 39. 48.
Mm-hmm.
So 39.48 divided by 89. What?
60.
89.60. That would have bought you 44.06.25 stocks, and then we're gonna times that by 176.23, right?
I think it was the 86 because that was the profit. 86.75.
Right, but I'm just saying 176.23.
Yeah, right.
So that means that your 3,900 will be worth $765.13. And then if you subtract your 3,900, you made an extra. You almost doubled your money. Just by letting it sit there in a company. You didn't have to do no research. You didn't have to go look up nothing.
And if you want to do research, it's a thing called the Honey Drip Network that's going to tell you everything that you need to know about these stocks.
Very much so. Very much so.
Big up yourself, our Aristotle. I have to give him that plug because he's really showing people this game, you know, that stock game, and showing us, when I say people, he's showing our people how to do exactly what we're talking to you about. But he's actually, he's the Wall Street.
Yeah, Wall Street
guy.
Chapel. Yeah, him as well.
Him and them, that guy and that guy, like kind of like this,
3,000.
and they really
M3000 don't do stocks.
showing you.
No, I thought that's what he was trying to say.
No.
I know Wall Street Trapper.
Yeah.
I met him, right?
Yes.
I met him.
That guy, and then the guy I'm talking about, Aristotle, or Honey Drip Network, they like good friends. And Aristotle is actually showing our community how to
do
take
it our way.
the little money
In our language.
Because his thing, really, he tell you to put up, what is it, $50 a week. And he said everybody should be able to do that. And so if you use what we showing you, you can actually get close to that $50 a week, you know, because that's $37 off cigarettes. So
yeah. Don't be the person that smokes cigarettes and weed today.
So you can put up that $50, and if you put up that $50 over 52 weeks, you have $2,500 at the end of the year, and that's enough to get you in the stock game. That's his rule of thumb, you know. And so you follow.
Very much so.
So, and we showed you, actually, I said 25. If you follow this, he showed you how to save 39.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually $1,400 more than even Aristotle was saying by just putting up the $50.
Come on now.
So these are the ways that we're showing you how you can take your income that you're already making. We didn't notice none of this was like go find another job or do. It was how to use the income that you already have, because that's really your biggest source of investment. I just really want to drive that home, because a lot of people always feel like I need more money, you know. And
Real tough.
we always need funding for our businesses, but it's like, how can you squeeze funds out of the income that you already have? So
Yeah, most times it's already there. All we need to do is just
financial literacy. That's getting to
have
budgeting.
discipline.
So part of, it's the same thing. Discipline in terms of finance is budgeting.
Mm-hmm.
Realizing that it's certain things that I might want to do that I'm not going to be able to do because I'm on a mission. Certain things that I don't need to do anyway, as we just kind of showed you some of those things. Saying how I can, if I don't want to completely eliminate them, how can I reduce them or cut back? All these things go into play with the financial literacy that we're talking about. And you can see how it affects. Because I hear that sometimes financial literacy is going to help me. Man, I ain't got no money right now, you know? So it's going to help you when you do have some money again. When we're talking about tax season is here right now, what are most black people in our community doing with their tax money right now? Finding a way to be consumers, as you talked about.
The first thing I did was went and bought a car. A nice car, too.
I was never a tax season car buyer.
I didn't buy it at
They
tax
sell you
season,
lemons.
I
I
had the plan to buy a car. I was putting that little nest egg to the side to buy a car.
So this is where I think my ignorance came in, and a place where I kind of still struggle, because when I was in the working class, in the income tax time, looked good to me. It don't look good to me now. Like, I'm one of the people that put my taxes all the way off. In fact, I filed for extension because I'm going, oh hell, it don't look good. But when I did get the good, I used to call them hood blessings. It wasn't about spending it right away for me, but it wasn't about making it make money for me either. So, you know, I was a single mother. I had 2 children. So my earned income credit was, you know, kind of decent or whatever. I made a nice amount of money to kind of keep me in she get a little money back or whatever. But I could remember being like, okay, well, I'm just going to pay my rent for a few months, and then I'm going to live off my check. I'm just going to make sure that my tax money, literally, I would have it in June. Come June. Sounds good, right? But it wasn't making no money for me. And that's where the dumb part was coming in.
It's not the dumb part. It goes back to the beginning of the conversation. It's all about your relationship with money. And you, what I call a squirrel, trying to dig up a nut.
I would bury.
Yeah, same thing.
I would.
Squirrels find nuts. They bury the nuts. They go back and get them later. So forth and so on. But
and I'm still like that.
No matter how many nuts you bury.
I'm still. So like now it's funny because I'll invest. I do investments and stuff with my husband. I'm still kind of petty and still on the dipping my toe. So being transparent, I'd be like, you can take the risk. But we got to make sure this over here to cover this, but we can risk this, but we got to keep this over here. I'm not a jump all in. My husband is a jump all in person. So even now, just being for real, I still bury the nuts. I'm comfortable burying the nuts.
No matter how many nuts you bury, at some point, the nuts are going to be gone. See, once we come to the conclusion that
one day I'm gonna be serious.
Money is not a treasure. Money is not something to be held and gawked at. It's
I actually see people do what you're saying.
it's a tool
I feel like if I just
that comes and it goes. The trick is to make sure that you have more coming in than going out.
That is probably the most valuable thing that came out of today. That is true.
End of the day, you need to have more coming in than going out. If more coming in than going out is you being disciplined about your living expenses, how you go out, how you spend your money, what you spending extra money on, what you're buying, you slow the process, as they call it, stop the bleeding. You stop the bleeding by keeping the money from going out.
How do you stop the bleeding if you don't know how to, right? So
start with your habits that are killing you.
But I was gonna say, but how do you even know that if you don't know what you're spending? So you have to do a financial budget.
Yeah.
Like
you have to do an analysis.
That's what I was gonna get to.
You gotta sit down and analyze.
And guess what? That's hard.
That goes back.
That's why.
That goes back to the beginning of me saying you have to realize your relationship with money.
You have to realize your relationship with money. You have to be transparent with you. You have to be honest with you. Because if you're not honest with you, you're going to stay where you are financially. If you hadn't the nuts and acting like you're not spending, okay, let me take that back. If you throwing the nuts out and acting like you burying the nuts, you're lying to yourself. Basically. Like he talking about the habits that are killing you, the unhealthy habits that you're doing to yourself. But what if you going out and you got a shopping habit or you got other things that you're doing? You have to be real. When we sat down to do our financial budget, I was so scared to do it with him because that's my husband. You be honest, you just got to be honest with yourself and honest with y'all. I'm like, I'm not trying to have this discussion with him because he finna now start asking me this and asking me that. Now I got to disclose this or that. But no, that financial planning and that financial budget, I'm able to look at him and say, I'm a grandmother. So yeah, I need to have X amount of dollars put up for when my grandchildren need or want something. I got to have X amount of dollars put up for when my children may fall short in something. I can come and help them in that area. I want a few extra dollars for when my girlfriends say that they want some time with me. I can go out and have drinks and I ain't got to worry about it. But like in my old life, those was the things that I hid. I want to have that from my husband. I don't let him know I'm spending this, spending that.
She want to hide that because that's not what I'm about. So things that she like to do, it's not really my thing. But I don't frown upon her because that's what she like to do. Because we all have certain things that we get enjoyment from that the next person might be like, I don't want to do that. Why are you doing that for? That's a waste of money. That's a this, that's a that. That's where the mental health comes in at, with the work-life balance, self-love, self-care, so forth and so on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she go out to eat, she want to buy a drink. I don't see the point in that.
He doesn't. And so
that's a wasted $10, $15 for me.
But here's the difference. So here we go with what the things in your life that are unhealthy. So one of my what are we calling them? The habits or the vices or the medications. One of my medications was alcohol, and it was alcohol for a long time, and it was a substitute for me not wanting to cry or live in my truth. The painful things that go on in life, things that you experience. So I'm a drink. I was drink. I'm a drink. I'm a drink. I'm a drink. And I walked around with a fifth in my purse. Truth and transparency. Don't judge me. Judge your mama. And when I go out to eat now, and I have a drink, that does it for me. Because my old self would say, I'm finna drink on this fifth and be lit before I get there. But at least when I get there, I can have me a nice little cocktail with my meal and I feel like I'm doing a little something. I can put my pinky up in there. He don't personally care for it. And low key, it's times when I go out and get a drink and it's so weak, I get pissed. Like, this is ridiculous. I shouldn't have paid no dang on $9, $10, $12 for this. So I get the point, in that sometimes. But for me, it's a cutback. That's my cutback.
But, and to both of y'all point, it's like still knowing your relationship with money, knowing what it is that you're going to spend your money on.
And I was just about to say, something fake with her would be for her to say, I'm going to go in here and I'm not going to buy a drink.
Right. So that
you're going in there to buy a drink.
Yes, you is. You thinking about the drink before you thinking about what's on the food menu. You don't even care what they serving.
So when we get into your financial budgeting that we were just all talking about, which is very important.
Be real.
Be real with yourself.
Be real.
And again, so for me, I only do mine once a month. It works for me. I kind of know what I'm spending throughout the month, so I'm able to do that. But maybe you may need to do it once a week so that you know, again, what you brought in this week and what's going out this week. So
some people need to do it once a week. Some people need to do it every day.
Yeah. Okay.
Depending on who you are.
That is
some people need to do it every day. They need to assess every day what came in, where it needs to go, what direction they need to go, and so forth and so on. Like for me, I won't necessarily call myself a gambler, but I believe high risk.
Be truthful.
I believe high risk, high reward.
He does.
So, for instance, I'll invest in something with some immediate money where it might take me a while to get my money back over time, but I know I'm going to double or quadruple my money. I.e., for instance, I had a friend that was at a place and there was a whole skid of some t-shirt equipment. Me and him together spent $1,000 on the skid of t-shirt equipment. I didn't necessarily have the $500 to give to him at the point in time, but I gave it to him. In return, I'm still selling the t-shirt equipment. I've made my $500 back and then some, and I still have more equipment. And I'm still making money off of that same $500 investment. So I would prefer to struggle on this side so I can win or gain on this side. Everybody don't live like that. Everybody don't believe in that. Some people, I can't, so.
I'm gonna lose it. I get it. I'm gonna pull it hair out of things.
But I realized that
I'm hurt.
I realized that
I am hurt.
I'm different. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that. But that's me. High risk, high reward.
I married him because he jumps.
And
he's
again,
a jumper. That's why I married him.
I'm
not a jumper. I'm not a jumper. I am not a jumper. I'm gonna check and recheck and then verify and go back and verify again, and then I want to know who did it, and then what their outcome was, and what's my percentages, and how what's the probability it is.
It's called calculated. It's very, very, very.
Well, they say measure twice and cut once.
He jumps.
Yeah.
He jumps.
Yeah,
I'll jump.
I jump.
And sometimes you jump. You might break a finger.
Right.
You might break a leg. You might break a toe.
Better be careful.
But you're going to heal.
You're going to heal.
You learned the lesson.
And then you're going to say, next time when I jump,
I learned the lesson.
I'm going to stick my leg out like this.
I learned the lesson.
And then I'm going to spin around before I hit the ground. And then that way when I roll, I won't break my leg.
Learn the lesson from it. So.
Or you just going to stop jumping. I ain't gonna stop.
But you still learned the lesson, though.
You did.
You learned that I shouldn't be jumping right
As
now.
they say, boss sense is better than borrow sense.
That thing.
As the old folks say.
So yeah, man. Agreeing though, what he was saying. Sometimes for some people it's daily, because I have had a couple friends that have felt like they making a nice amount of money, but don't pay attention to what they're doing, and so they spending $100 a day, and then by the end of the month, it's like, man, I make $10,000 a month. How am I still broke? And it's because you spending.
You know
so
what?
much
You know what
a
people
day.
spend the most money on in our age group in this day and time?
Food.
Hmm?
Food. Like
Food.
Buying out.
Food.
Yeah.
Buying out.
They don't spend it with the chef.
Man, they spend it with, the beefies.
They
and
spend the bed. They
all
spend
the
it on the
places.
bed
But
food.
if you add up the money that
Places
people
that's not healthy
spend
for 'em.
They won't
on
spend
a
it
day-to-day
with the chef.
basis, eating out, I mean, if you're a person that don't really cook, you're gonna spend, even saving your money, $30 to $50 a day.
And the example I was talking about, the friend
Mhm.
was spending $3,500 a month in food and
There you
didn't
go.
realize it.
Yeah.
Was wondering, why every month am I low? Am I
Mhm.
low? And it's like,
Mhm.
you're low because in addition to your bills and everything
Mhm.
else, you spending $3,500 a month on just eating out because you're eating out every single day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Every day. Sometimes 2-3 times.
And then this felt like I got it, so I'm not just going to a Beefies or something. I'm going somewhere where I'm sitting down and I'm tipping.
I'm gonna really
and,
enjoy
I
my
feel
food.
like you walking up in my house, taking your shoes off.
Yeah. So
Did nobody tell you to come up my street?
the thing with me though,
And I'm a
I
chef.
know that I'm going out to eat. I know I'm going to do
That's
that.
our advice.
And
But
I know that I'm going to a nice restaurant.
so the truth be
I know
told,
it.
we
I
can
know
write
I'm
off every meal because I'm a chef.
Yeah.
And it's research.
But
And
whether
so it's
I write
always
it off
for
or not,
business.
I'm on.
It's
I'm going in
always
there.
for
I know I'm
business.
Part of my financial
Yes, sir.
budget. I
I'm
already
going
know.
in
Hey,
So
well, we
I'm
eat.
not gonna fool
We
myself
eat.
and
We
say
eat.
I'm not gonna do it. Now I will discipline myself and say
Mhm.
I'm only gonna go out once or twice a week.
We've cut back a lot this past month.
We have,
And
I'm
that's
gonna
sin,
say this
though.
past
Yes.
month and a half.
We have.
We've cut back a lot.
but it
I'm
ain't.
actually really proud of us.
Yeah, but it's not.
Hey, let me tell you something.
not voluntary.
It is. It's okay.
It's not voluntary.
It's voluntary on my
Not-
end.
Well, on your end, it's not. It's not voluntary on my end. But I'm just speaking the truth. Shame of the devil. You know what I'm saying? But it be like that sometimes. So that's the entrepreneurial lifestyle that is always not pointed out. And I always tell people, you can eat crackers this week and Vienna sausage, and then next week you'll be eating steak and lobster.
That is the truth. But,
So,
to me, that's part of budgeting.
that's
No
just,
lies
that's just how it goes.
To
You know
say
what I'm
that
saying?
I can't
Now,
eat steak and lobster
the-
No
every day.
lies
The
detected.
beautiful part with me and my wife is, if at any point in time, if we don't necessarily have it to go and
We
do
still
whatever,
eat good.
we can go to the grocery store and come home and cook
We
just
get
as good,
in.
if not better meal than we
What?
would go out and eat on our own. You know what I'm saying? And she can cook it, I can cook it, whatever, however, we can enjoy that
'Cause she
same
made some
particular
shrimp
type
the
of
other
meal.
night, make you want to slap
At
your
home.
mama.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Now everybody don't have that
Them shrimp was
luxury.
good. You made those shrimp and cooked them perfect.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Everybody don't have that luxury, but we had a thing called COVID-19 cuisine
We
that my
did.
wife need to bring back, but I'm just set that right there. Anyway,
So
Hey, go follow me on TikTok, Chef DSW.
tell them how to spell it so they know.
Chef DSW. That's it.
Okay.
CHEF DSW on TikTok. Go follow me. Because I'm going live. I'm doing lessons.
don't tell no lies now. Don't tell no lies.
What, did I'm going live?
Yes.
As soon as I get to my 1,000.
But follow,
I'm trying to
follow
get
her on
some-
TikTok
I'm trying to
so
get
she
my
can get to 1,000. That's literally what I was going to say. So
Right.
make sure you follow her
Right.
on TikTok
There
so
you
she
go.
can get to 1,000.
Yes.
So she can give y'all some of these live cooking lessons and things like
Follow me on YouTube.
that. That might be a way. We
Make
talking
sure she-
financial literacy.
Make sure she get the G so she can go 5G.
Yeah.
That's
what I'm
right. I'm follow me on YouTube. I'm the wife type. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook. I got the wife type on both of those.
You got a little too many. You're
social
going to wind
media.
up being a sponsor in a minute.
And I have, let me tell you.
Go on, get your plug in.
Ignite.
Right. We'll tell you where.
Follow me at Ignite Catering. Follow me at Dietrich Chef D Walker. Yeah, I do it all. I do it.
With that, y'all really just got some very value because you got somebody that's gonna teach you how to cook, and you can possibly make some money off of that. So you add to what the $329 that we just showed you how to save, and you can invest. Or she'll teach you how to cook some stuff. You can start your own little side
Go sell
business
some
or something like
plates.
that. Yeah,
Go
man.
sell some
So,
plates. We
carrying
all
on
sell
to
some
it.
plates. We all be selling plates.
If we want to record, I'll say something real wild right now. But
Coochie Kool-Aid and cornbread.
I'm gonna let that go because my wife said I'll be talking crazy.
Coochie Kool-Aid and
and
cornbread.
my pastor might be watching this, so I'm gonna just let that go.
I stay in trouble. I stay in trouble.
Before we get ourselves into more trouble, I think this is time to end this wonderful episode that we're back. I don't even know what number it is.
We gonna end it with the 3 C's.
What we did before,
Right.
how many we did before then. But in all seriousness, this is about financial literacy. The first star, but your relationship with money.
Yes.
That's the place
Your
to start.
relationship with money.
Your
Understanding
relationship,
that.
Your
with
relationship
money.
with money.
Hey,
As a matter of fact, you know what?
let's get a good relationship.
We're
with money.
gonna.
Is your relationship with money toxic? Are you in
Yeah.
a toxic relationship?
No.
You in a toxic
We're gonna break
relationship?
that down.
Next episode. See now.
Your
we got
relationship with money.
Your
We're gonna break
relationship
that
with
down.
Right.
Your relationship with money. How toxic is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So now you know what we're talking about on the next episode. So make sure you tune in. Again, this is Black Wealth Matters. We're starting up again. What I didn't talk about too was the financial budgeting. So your relationship with money, but start to figure out how you can start to create a financial budget for yourself between now and then the next episode.
No, you know what? Something is real simple, man. Let me just break this down. Something that I just found out in the past 5 years or so. I know we're getting ready to, but let me hit y'all with this game right quick. If you have a bank account, Chase, I don't know about Chime. That's something else. I don't know. I'm talking about a bank account. So you gotta have Chase, a Bank of America, some of that nature.
Fargo or something, yeah.
And what happens with that is, as if you spend your money out of the account, in which you shouldn't, I may add, you should be spending your money on a credit card, but
That's another episode.
Number 3.
However,
I know.
if you're spending your money out of your account, if you go to your account summary at the end of the month, it will tell you what you're spending your money on and what your greatest expenses are.
Yeah.
At the end of each month, end of each week, or what have you. It will break that down. And you can use that if you're not a person that can write down what it is or keep track of whatever. It will show you in your actual bank account. If you log in on the back end of your account, it will show you what you're spending your money on and how much you're spending your money on. And you can have a face-to-face ugly moment with your relationship with money right there.
Mm-hmm.
How toxic is it?
How toxic is it? So y'all know what to tune in for next week. And this time, do the homework. Start you a financial budget this week. It's figure out if you need to do it daily, weekly, or monthly. And by the time next week, you'll kind of have an overstanding for the reason of your relationship with money, and you'll know if yours is toxic already.
Find out what you're spending your money on.
Okay, there we go.
Then when you find out what you're spending your money on, find out what you can budget.
That's it. Yes. Because now this what he was saying about being real with yourself. Because you'll know what, I'm gonna keep smoking my squares because we can't tell you what to do, or I'm gonna keep doing this, but you'll figure out the things that's not so important and say, nah.
Or you can say, I'm gonna smoke a half a pack a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna short myself.
That's so hood.
I'm gonna stop being silly. I promise. One of these
Shorting
episodes,
yourself tastes like you lit up an ashtray.
it do.
I never understood why people did that.
Because your money be low. You gotta short yourself till you go get that next bag. Like, man, I'm down. I gotta short myself.
That is too much.
So till the next time that we catch up with y'all, give thanks to everybody that tuned in. Again, he's Bangghz, I'm PJ, and she's Dee.
Chef Dee.
Yeah, I was wanting her to plug us.
Go ahead, do it again,
Okay.
do it again.
So till next time, he's Bangghz, I'm PJ, and she's
D. Chef D.
Make sure you follow her on TikTok right now so we can get up to a G, and then she can give y'all some of them live G's and all them things. So next time we'll check out. All right, peace. Wonderful episode. I got 2. The next episode is your relationship with money. How